learned to an election. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a little, but I still reinvest it. Fear how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it down, we gon' get it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watches coming in on July 2nd, 2020, and this one thing can cause the biggest bull market in history. Okay, it's a little dramatic. I was going to say it could make the stock market go crazy tomorrow. It has to do with that, but I figured I'd give it a different title to explain the reason why. So I have the watch list. We're going to talk about it. I have a few crazy plays I want to make, and that I'm going to go over on this watch list. Today was pretty crazy, but not crazy. A literal mixed bag. NASDAQ and tech killed it, closed up just about 1%. S&P a 0.5%, and then the Dow down. Boeing pump faked us. Sorry, Brad. But above all else, something kind of unique happened. So coming into tomorrow, the 4th of July, tomorrow is our last trading day. So keep that in mind. There's an important factor we need to go over. So I hope you guys are ready. But that is the game plan. That is pretty much it. So I hope you're ready. Let us not delay. You guys know what you need to do. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. It's the first link in the description and it is pinned in the comments. We better see you there in the morning. It's free 99. It costs you nothing to join. YouTube.com/the stock market. You can post the plays, see the plays, watch the watch list come to life, and you can even meet a bunch of grown adults who still do the Pledge of Allegiance before like an event or something. It's kind of cool, right? It reminds me of school, but I love you guys. Shout out to our veterans. Thank you for all of your service. God bless you. And the most important thing you need to do, post your watches below. Let us know what you're looking at. Got any plays, comments, remixes, anything. Post them below and source that info, baby. But right off the bat, the first thing that is going to be important, tomorrow is the last trading day of, well, the week. So Friday is going to be closed. We might still stream, maybe do an econ, maybe we do a game. I don't know. But as far as the market is concerned, the market will be closed. So tomorrow is going to be your last day. And historically, a few people brought this up. Historically, the day before July 4th is actually a good day. The markets do pretty good. Even today, it was kind of a mixed bag. All the news today, surprisingly, death count numbers did go up in some places like Arizona, but the market didn't really react too negatively. Again, everything was mixed, but hospitalization rates went up. We did sanctions on China. There's some even more Hong Kong stuff after hours, even House even passing an infrastructure bill, some political stuff. There's a lot of different stuff, even the Fed minutes today. And there was some key notes from the Fed minutes, but pretty much nothing they haven't said so far as, you know, a lot of people talked about yield curve control and then even what they said quantitative easing wise, but Powell has made most of this kind of already clear so far. But as far as even the virus news and all that, you got walkbacks, LA County, and then even Apple started to make closures. So there was a bunch of stuff today. We had a good revised, like a mini jobs report, and we're going to get one tomorrow. So with the historical July 4th, everything else, we're going to see how this plays out. So again, I think a lot of stuff is going to be factored into next week, but there was something about today that made it even more unique. And this is what I'm saying could cause the biggest bull market if this happens. So to give you a little perspective, we've been watching this, but bonds. So I've been telling you guys about TLT. I've been telling you guys how TLT will snitch. Some people even ask, what does that mean? It means that the bonds and the bond yields will tell you something, but especially we've been talking about this divergence, the ratio, or more or less the attractiveness of bonds versus stocks. So if bond yields are low, that means they're very attractive. There's high demand. And usually if bond yields are low and there's high demand, stocks usually go down, and then vice versa. If stocks are doing good, people don't really want to be in bonds. They're going to sell them off and buy stocks. So what we saw today, this is the aspect of it kind of snitching here where I said the bonds will have to diverge or we will converge, but we were expecting stocks to move. But now we didn't really move much today, but bonds sold off a lot more than the stocks did, but stocks actually ended up going up overall. So this could really be a moment of truth if bonds sell off or not. So right now, coming into Q3, and how everything's been, all of this stuff from the stress test, the Fed, and everything, and you're getting all this stimulus even coming into the election, there could be some fundamental news, but then at some level, if we start to see a rotation and bonds start to sell off now, and that's how the gap is closed, the market might very well go crazy off of that. So we got a little hint of that today. And why am I bringing that up? Because here's the 10-year. So again, you guys saw market started going up, but then the bond yield started going up. That means some bonds were sold. But once we start breaking around 0.7, again, this is the actual 10-year, and just factor that into how TLT is. Again, this might get confusing for some of you, but don't trip. But the whole point is if the bonds start to really turn up from here, or the bond yields start to sell off, they could quickly start to get back to a normal rate, or it could start one of these again. You could kind of see the upward spikes that we've seen with bonds. So it could be a very, very wild ride, but that's something that we saw today. That is something that I think is really, really important, but we will see what happens. But the final thing we saw today is tech and rotations, and they're making big moves. And this is going to have to do with one of the plays that I want, but this could lead to some bigger moves tomorrow. Again, we kind of saw that with the Boeing Apple effect, but now FANG went crazy today, especially Amazon and Netflix. So this is important because now you're even seeing some growth stocks and big companies, they're not really moving, and a lot of thing is pinned, but now you're getting this cat dog push pull. So this is going to create opportunity. So I'm kind of excited, or I'm kind of even excited to see how this fuels the whole month, and then what it will culminate into coming into August. But that is pretty much it. Tomorrow's the last day. Plan accordingly. Be careful with some of those weeklies. We are going to have a lot of activity tomorrow. If you've noticed, we've already traded a lot in these rotations and everything this week. You're seeing that come to life. So I hope you guys are there. It's going to be a froggy Friday, but that is pretty much it. So let us get into the plays. Right off the bat, the first play that I made today was Beyond. I don't know if this isn't going to be the major play or the main play I have for tomorrow, so I'll just go over the plays that we made today. We got the Beyond. I grabbed July 17th. So remember, I had the July 240s, and I spent 90 cents on the July 240s, and I bought 5 of them for $500, and those came down this morning. They were up a little bit, but I got clapped on those plays. We lost, so I averaged down. Why? Beyond had that news this morning that they had a deal with Alibaba, and they were good. And I even said it this morning on stream. The plays that we got did good. They're still holding up. But since they kind of sold off here, I said it was going to be hard to double dip. But this time they got news on it and volume, so it could have been a little bit better. But I like them, to say the least. So I grabbed these 4 Beyond, July 17th, 220 calls. I grabbed 4 of them at 55 cents. And then the next play that I made today, after that, I did it later in the day. I grabbed 3 FedExes. I grabbed 3 of the August 200s at 59 cents. Had earnings, and it was kind of a continuation. It was overall, like, I think 100% premium on the actual contract, but they did good. And pretty much I said either FedEx is going to kill it from here and have an earnings continuation. You could even see this is a key level, this 150, 160 range. So this was enough. You could even see the historic volume. That's why I wanted time. They're coming off good earnings. They're either going to kill it from here or they were going to die. So I was like, well, I didn't have to pay the premium on it. I think these contracts were going for like $1.30, $1.50 after the earnings. So I didn't have to go after them at that price. But bottom end of the day, or excuse me, right here, 59 cents. And that was the second one. I like them. Again, if FedEx goes crazy tomorrow, I'm going to be looking at them. And then finally, the last play, Tesla. Honestly, I'm not, you guys know me. I mean, I'm just really not about that life. You know, I could talk a lot of game. I mean, again, I'm not that tough. I'm telling you now, even with Tesla, I got really excited. I try to be one of you guys. I try to be like you guys. You guys inspire me. I took the drug, but I had to ghetto spread it. I was scared, man. So we had the Tesla July 17th, 1320. Remember, I bought that at the beginning of the week for $500. It was going for like $1,500 or $1,700 today. So I was like, all right, well, I gotta secure the bag. So I ghetto spreaded the 1440. Pretty much leaves me with like a $14,000 max gain on the ghetto spread, but I sold it at $690. Pretty much got all my money back. So I made $100 and something, got my initial investment. I can't lose on the Tesla. I effectively ghetto spreaded it. Again, I shorted that. You see sell one, and that was pretty much it. So no longer in that play. Those were all of the plays that we made today. Beyond FedEx, and then 2 other plays now I want to talk about, AMZN and Amazon. So for tomorrow, one of them we already made. If you guys remember when we got those was AMZN. I think we bought them not too long ago. I want to say last week. Yeah, we got them on June 19th. So about 2 weeks ago, if you guys remember, I bought these two and they were only 41 cents. It was a small play. I put them in at 81 bucks for both of them. But then all of a sudden, some crazy news came out that they got some patent dispute. But pretty much, this was a very unprecedented move for AMZN to move like 8% like that. You could even just see candles-wise on this, even the volume. It was a pretty big move for them. So they're at an interesting level. I'm still holding those two contracts. They went up to like $1.60. They're at $1.50 on the ask, $1.30 on the bid right now. But I still like them. We'll keep an eye out for them in any of the biotechs, but I'm holding that. So tomorrow, even on a weekly scale, so flipping the dailies on like AMZN and FedEx, if they have a continuation, maybe beyond, those are going to be good. But then tomorrow, I'm going to go crazy on Amazon. This is the number one play I'm going to be looking for tomorrow. They went crazy. The options went nuts, but it's going to be a Friday. This tech rotation is getting out of hand. Pretty much Amazon is at one of these breakout points, just like it was Spotify or anything else. Again, they're not an IPO, but this is a key level for them. So I really, really am interested to see what they do here. But we might have some fun. Fridays for them either are really crazy or it's going to be a dud, but I think I might take the risk. So what I'm going to do is either look for calls to see if it breaks out, or I might even sell some naked daily premium. Oh my gosh, yes, you guys will see tomorrow, so hopefully you're there. But I have a few ideas and tricks up my sleeve. Hopefully the market gives me something, an environment that I could trade that would allow those moves. But that is pretty much it as far as the plays, and what I'm going to be looking at tomorrow is kind of a secondary to that. I will be watching Netflix again. They went pretty crazy, so they could also be very, very good. Tesla still in there. Ghetto spreaded it. Can't really lose more than I've already put in now, so I'm going to ride that out. The FedEx again for earnings continuation. AMZN beyond. I'm still in the UNH. They did good. Watch Cigna. I tried to get those in the morning, but they got a little bit too expensive, but I really, really like the UNHs, still holding those out. Watch Apple because of the closures and just kind of how they've traded. Again, they're kind of at those all-time highs, so they could get some of that FANG. Again, FANG rotation, leaders, Microsoft, all that. Amazon, Facebook, they've been killer. They did good. Watch McDonald's. They didn't do as good. Same thing with HD, and this is what I was saying. You could see the rotation with some companies where it's like they're really acting as if nothing happened. Even the S&P, while there's some companies, tech companies and rotations hitting all-time highs, but watch HD, McDonald's. Again, if we do get a rotation type of day, watch AbbVie. We were watching this today. It went up to 100. We talked about it a lot. I didn't really expect much to happen at 100, but who knows? Something crazy might happen at $100. I'm not really expecting it. It's a key level for AbbVie. Again, we're holding those long-term shares, but people are coming up with the wildest ideas all, every day. So we'll see. I mean, I would watch out for that, but going to be watching those. Then I'm going to be watching Myrna. I really, really want to get them or average down on them, but they're not really looking too hot and they look like they could slip, but still holding them, the VXRTs, and just keeping that. I mean, I might have to look back at these plays in like a week or two if they kind of get a down cycle. And then finally, Gap. And sadly, it's just not looking like Spotify. Even though the Kanye news is big, I think we'll see the Kanye news come to life later down the road. But another part of this I just don't like is that Gap already looks like it's dying. When you put it on a 5-year, it just has the makings of it where it's even like these good news pops are only doing so much. So it might be the turnaround for them, but pretty much I'm still in it. I still like the play. All I'm saying, and we've talked about it today, is that it's going to be a slower event. It's going to take a lot more to move Gap than it will Spotify. I said that out loud, and then I came here to check, and it's saying it's only 373 million shares, and now I'm just borderline confused here. So I'll have to look at the split history and all of that, but it's pretty much looking like you got a lot, there's a lot of resistance in toxic debt holders, or pretty much a lot of shares that need to be moved out before it goes. But we'll see. Still in the options. I think I'm going to consider shares at a later time, but we will see. But that is pretty much it. And then, I think that's all we have there. Watch TLT. Watch for them to move with the SPY. And if you start to see the bonds sell off, or pretty much if the market starts getting into these little panic rallies or buy rallies, it might turn into a real rally if the bonds really do a hard sell-off. Because again, you've seen it hit these levels and come back, but it doesn't break them. But if it goes and breaks that 1.01 on the 10-year, it could get ugly. or which would be bullish and shout out the long term. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. You got the armor on so you don't have to be insecure about it, baby. You know you're going to go into battle. You wear the armor to take the punches, so let's go. Remember, you only need to turn a one time and two forever. Be smart with what you got. You got enough to do it. Secure the bag, use strategy, stay in the game, control the budget, and stay focused, baby. But the cult loves you. I love you. We'll see you in the morning. Let's go.